as you made us number three when it comes to Seg1 sales. Even with the COVID-19, we are still the largest year-over-year growth among top four carriers. Of course, Manulife, Candle Life are the big ones, including Sun Life. But as I mentioned in our previous webinars or our meeting in the office, Industrial Alliance had surpassed Sun Life when it comes to growth of seg fund sales. We are number one since 2016, and we are still are number one up to this time. And because you made us number one when it comes to net net fund sales, seg fund sales. So if you can see here, we are number one since 2016. Note that our EVO electronic application, which I'm going to present you quickly in the next slides, it was very popular during the COVID-19 when we introduced it in February, as early as February. As well, during volatility, market volatility, note that you can switch your clients' investments, but we have the 90-day short-term trading rule still enforced. As long as you are not receiving notification from IA saying that you have done several transactions on this contract, feel free to make switches. But once you receive a notification, you have to wait for the 90-day period before you again make switches, because otherwise we will charge that 2% frequent trading fee. So we are allowing free to safety if you want to move your clients' funds into the money market, into the bond, to the prudent portfolios or high interest savings account. But I'm going to describe to you later on why you don't need to do that during market volatility. Also, we have the high interest savings account, which is HISA, HISA. This is a savings account. It's not an investment fund. The client gives up guarantees if you're moving your client to HISA. So online tools. All of you have access to your advisor center. You need to log in to your advisor center. How to log in? You have to click connect, go to our website, click connect, and then select advisor center. If you have not done so in the past, you just need to click need a secure access and complete the required information. You have to create your own access code and password, and then you will have access to the secure site. There are two sites of the advisor center, the public site and the secure site. You would know that you have logged in, which is the secure site, because you will see the My Clients. These are the different sections or tabs of the advisor center. They are all useful before you make a sale, during a sale, and after a sale. So you would see there My Clients, Business Tracker. My Clients is where you can download all your client files, both life insurance and investments or savings and retirement. You will see the status of each contract. You can make switches on that as well if you have access the contract number. Business Tracker, this was introduced way back 2018. Products, of course, you will see the different product guides and product information on both insurance and investments. Document Center is where you can pull out PDF copies of all our application forms and change forms. My Tools and Applications is where you will see the RESP illustration tool, the RESP online tool application, and your commission statements. You see that in the My Tools and Applications. EVO is for both investments, savings and retirement, and insurance. This is the online tool. So feel free to always consult your advisor center. Our customer service right now are so they have a lot of calls. So the waiting period for you when you call our customer service is 20 minutes at most. So feel free to always use your advisor center, because then you will see status of all your clients' investments as well as your clients' insurance. Also, I suggest you consult the IA Connected, because this is where we publish information, updates on products, administrative procedures. You can always click on this one if you don't get a notification. Also, always look at the uh, news that are seen when you open your advisor center. So just going to your My Clients, if you have a number of clients with IA, you can just download their information and uh, the list of all your clients in force uh, life insurance as well as investments. For investments, there's a particular section here where it only shows you clients who have investment contracts, those who are turning 71, their investment fund performance, their rate of return, and all of those you can click on Obtain My Clients. Just click on My Clients, and then you have to select your agent code. You can do it first contracts download, you click search, or obtain your client's investment data. And then when you click the obtain your investment data, you will be asked to answer, submit, and then in a few minutes, you will see a file that is sent to this secure email site of the Advisor Center. Then you will have to download it and wait, I just need to admit Melissa. So just download it, save it in your file, but know that you need to update every now and then the client file that you have saved, because only information as of that day that you have downloaded it, that's what will be saved. So is just an example of the list of clients in the investment contracts. It's an Excel file. You will see I have to hide the names because for security I cannot disclose names. So this is where you will see the names of your clients. There are different tabs below. Just click on each tab and you will see rate of return of your clients, the investment contracts, and 871, those which you need to reset for the 75 100 and all those information as well. Those who have loans, you will see them as well in that section. Now, the business tracker. Business tracker is where you can see all claims that you have submitted, status of that claim, any transactions you have requested, like change of a beneficiary or a conversion and all that, and the documents that IA had sent to your clients, you'll get a copy of that. Sales opportunities, meaning life contract events, which would, for example, you have a set of clients who have term 10 and you want to convert those are opportunities for you to make another sale, so that you can see as well in the business tracker. On the savings side, you will be able to see confirmation of transactions that you have requested, including reset of the 75 100. You will see the electronic applications that you have submitted under the new issue or contribution. So this is how it looks like. Okay, I need to go back, go forward. And every time you open this one and there are improvements made on the business tracker, you will see this screen. So for the business tracker, you will see there, for example, right to exercise, GI, or a child module, or expiry of the conversion. You will see the status or suggested action. You can just click on those suggested action, what you need to do. Also, if we send something to the client, you can click on that attachment client document, access to documents sent to client. So no copy is sent to your MGA, but you will be able to see that. Those that require your action, you can see that as well in the business tracker. Those with red marks, action required, you can click on that action and it asks you, for example, contact the client to advise that a loan full or partial loan payment is needed to prevent the contract termination, and all those messages which require your action. The one in red requires your action. The one in yellow is for your information. So if it is on a yellow suggested action, request follow-up, you can just click on that link, and you will also see there the if you have answered that request, you will see there request received, and the action required or suggested will show up. Also, for follow-up, you can see anything that you have requested and you want to follow up. Please use the business tracker of your advisor center. On the investment side, when you submit an RRSP application, TFSA, you can see the approval, and you can even click on this savings opening a contract, and you will see also a copy of that e-app you have submitted. You can look at the details when you click on contract, and you can, even if you don't go to your My Clients section of the advisory center, when you have changed a beneficiary of a contract, you will see here the details of the application itself. Just click on that John, the name of the client or the contract number, and you will see right away the status and the basic information about that file without even going to your My Clients and search for that client. Okay, what I want you to look at mostly would be those that requires your action or a suggested action required on your part. Informative is just for your information. By the way, you can filter what you want to see, but I suggest those that are in red and yellow marks is what you need to filter. When you are doing the filter, you will see here filter. You can put a check mark on action required, action suggested, so only those requiring action would show up instead of having all information in your business tracker, and you will be lost in. It's very confusing if you have checked all access. You can check also those ones that are in progress, pending, completed, canceled, or no status. You can also filter by insurance. If you look at the insurance claims, if you only want to see claims, just put a check mark there. You can always change your filter. And you can also see additional functions available through the action button at the end. When you look at the yellow or the red mark, email notifications sent by default when an action is suggested or required following an event to an enforced contract. So you will also receive a notification in your email. The advisor or any other person to which the access who will receive this notification, you, or if you have delegated your access to your secretary, to your admin person, that person will also receive that email. Just so you will be on top of everything, that whatever is being asked, you will act on it through the business tracker. You can also change your notification preferences. The way to do that is click on that wheel here, notification preferences, and if you want to be notified for your clients and for your admin, which is the person you have delegated your access rights on the advisor center, will receive that. And you can also select maybe event for which an action is suggested, events or for which I must act, and then update your contact information. Then you will receive those notifications. Okay, if you are encountering technical issues on the business tracker, always your go-to would be our IT help desk, which is 1-888-610-5101, or send an email to interface@ia.ca if you're experiencing technical issues on your business tracker. So please feel free to use the business tracker. It's a system at the tip of your finger, so you would probably not calling mostly our customer service because you can see the status of all your requests on that. Now, the EVO savings, we introduced this in February. Use Google Chrome as your browser if you want to put in electronic application for your RRSP, TFSA, non-REDS, and LIRA. And this became very, very popular because you can do it non-face-to-face if you are not meeting your clients, although, of course, the paper application is still accepted through a DocuSign. If you are meeting your client, that's fine. If they're comfortable you meeting them, that's okay. But otherwise, you can use the EVO. So when you access the EVO, don't go to your interface suite. The interface suite is for insurance illustrations, and from there you can go to EVO insurance. But if you are putting new applications on the investment side, please do not go to this insurance or interface suite. Just proceed immediately to the advisor center, log into your advisor center and click EVO right away. Okay, so it's online. As I mentioned, these the types of contracts that you can do EVO are RRSP, TFSA, locked-in retirement account, or locked-in RRSP, and non-registered. We don't have yet the tool for investment loans as well as RRSP loans and LIF or RIF, because those require some extensive validations. So we put out first the four types of contracts that you can do EVO savings. So once you get into the EVO, when you click that EVO, you will see these two screens. Just click Launch EVO, Simplify Savings. This other side is for the insurance side. So click Launch EVO, and you will see the three tabs here. If you want to do a new application, just click on the new contract. If you have not completed it and you want to get back to that application you have started on, click Incomplete Transactions. Once you have completed it, you have seen the check mark, congratulations for doing the EVO. If you want to follow it up, you need to click on the transaction follow-up. Okay, so those are the three important tabs that you have to click on if you are doing EVO investments. So when you see this screen, when you click the Launch EVO and you see this screen, just click Get Started. Oh, wait. And then click Continue. This is the first page. It's basically like your F17A, but you can pull out if you have an existing client and for example, in an RRSP contract, you want to set up now a TFSA, just click this client search, enter the first and last name of the client, and you can pull out all the information. The first name, last name will be automatically be pre-populated or transferred. But if the client does not have an existing contract, investment contract with IA, start it by doing individual, click on individual, and then complete all the information required, first name, last name, date of birth, sex, and all that. Note that in a non-registered contract, you cannot still do an applicant who is a corporation or if there are joint applicants in a non-reg. Yes, you can do non-regs but for individual annuitant and individual applicant only. So it's so easy. The investor profile is embedded. The questionnaire is embedded in the e-app. Just answer those questions. Probably you will see their objective or project. That is essentially the investor profile. Just go through it, and then you have to select the funds. This is how it looks like. When you click the plus sign, it will expand and it will show you the funds available only in that category. You will be able to see right away as well the fund fact, which is a mandatory document you need to provide to your client. We can email that as you go along in doing the e-app. If you want us to email the fund fact and the information to your client, there is a question at the end of your data entry. Just enter the email address of your client, and then after you have completed and submitted the e-app, the client will receive a copy of the fund fact. But you can also see the fund sheet in this section. You will also be required to enter complete information of the bank account of the client. Since this is paperless, we don't require checks or void checks. Just enter as you see it in the void check. This is the format. Make sure that you enter it correctly so we will not be taking out from another client's bank account. That's more important. And note that EVO, we don't do editing or second handling of the application you have submitted. Once you have submitted the app, the only way to correct it is either you have to cancel the electronic signature when you have not completed the e-signature. just click on cancel electronic signature and go back and edit. But there is an opportunity for you every time you change the page for you to verify all the information. So this is done through the electronic signature. It's a DocuSign. You need to have the client's email address and smartphone, right, in order to do the electronic signature. So once you initiate the electronic signature either by email, just click here the sign button and the client will receive an email first. Note, the client will receive an email first. He will not receive right away a text message because for security reasons, we need to send two separate communications to the client. The client needs to open first that email, click access documents before a text message will be sent to his or her smartphone having that verification code. So this one comes after the client had access the email. If the client cannot see the email in his inbox or her inbox, he has to look at the junk email. Probably it went there. And once he clicked the access documents tab on that email, then a text message, this 6601012, that's what he or she needs to enter on this section here. This will be opened up if the client is using a cell phone and the client has downloaded his email on that cell phone. He can use just one device. Otherwise, email this is in his tablet or laptop or PC, then two devices should be accessed by the client. The email on his PC and the verification code or the text would be in his smartphone. So it's so easy. As I was saying, if you say yes to the question, would you like IA to send the information folder, the fun fact of the funds that you have selected, then IA will automatically send an email to the client with these attachments. So you don't need to, but otherwise, per compliance, you need to provide a copy of the information folder and the fun fact to your clients. Once you have completed it, if you made a mistake and you did not complete it, cancel the electronic signature if you want to make some corrections on your application. Note that IA will not be able to make any corrections on the app unless it has already been received and processed and set up. Okay, so please be careful this time. Errors are on your side, but if you are entering the correct information, there's no issue. You can do the e-app in just 9 minutes. It's so easy. So try using it. If your clients are not comfortable with it, you can still use application forms on your document center. Just pull out those application forms and then do the DocuSign if you have the DocuSign app on your laptop. Also, you can make subsequent deposit or additional deposits, but only for RRSP and TFSA. What you need to do this time, do not click on new contract, do not click on incomplete or transaction follow-up. Just click on search for a client, enter the last and first name of the client, and you will see all contracts, investment contracts. If you're doing an additional deposit to an RRSP, just click on this tab and then click add a contribution and follow the prompt. Just complete it. It is also done via the electronic signature, digital signature online. You can also make a switch on this contract by clicking switch. You can make resets on the 75-100 series, or if they are eligible for Prestige series, you can see by clicking the eligibility Prestige series if the client has qualified. Okay. So digital signatures, during this COVID-19, we do accept DocuSign. Either you're using the DocuSign app or OneSpan app or the Adobe Sign. Make sure that when you are emailing a copy of that application that was done through DocuSign, you have to send the summary or the PDF of that, and you will see if it was done through DocuSign. You have to send that as it is to IA, so we can process it, and we will also see if you initiated the signature through the DocuSign. So you can do that with EVO savings. You can do RRSP new issue, the PDF, which is the F17A and F17A1. You can also do that. TFSA, non-REDS, LIRA. The paper, you can do LIF, RRSP loan, investment loans, and then the transfer form. For the RESP, it's in the My Tools and application sections, is not in the EVO. So this, you can also make resets for all your clients that are in the 75100 series by clicking on My Tools and Applications, series 75100. So two reset options for 75100. You can either reset at the time you want to make a reset. Of course, when you do a reset, it should be at least 5, the market value is higher than the original amount. Or you can also choose an annual frequency, and the system will make a reset on that date that you have selected. Just click confirm if you are doing any of resetting it now or an annual frequency. So it's so easy for clients who have the 75100. Is all those clients who have the 100-100, there's no online reset. You have to do the paper-based. So feel free also to look at the IA COVID-19 microsite. It shows on your advisor center. It's a one-stop resource for conference calls, non-face-to-face updates, our information to all advisors, communications, and many more. You can see here your tools and procedures. If you are doing, like for example, when we did the insurance premium deferral, those are all described in the procedures and FAQ. Your tools are mostly video trainings on how to do the EVO, how to do the additional deposits, and all that. So this is a good tool for all of you during the COVID-19. I hope IA will maintain this site so you can always have a reference. All our fund manager conference calls and webinars, they're also published in this site. So if you want to listen to, for example, our fund managers, David Fingold, Will Danoff of Fidelity, and Clement Gignac, all these recordings, you can listen and play it back on the COVID-19 microsite. Even the latest news, okay? So just to let you know that your clients also have access to their own investment and life insurance contracts. They just need to go to the IA website, click the connect button, and they have to select My Client Space. They can create an account. This is how it looks like. So they have to create an account, and then meaning they have to create their own access code and password and their security questions. And every time they want to look at their RRSP, TFSA, non-REDS, RESP, they will see all information, transactions, as well as the rate of return and investment statements. They could all see that in their client space. So I suggest you ask your clients, or you advise your clients to take advantage of the My Client Space. Note that investment statements now, we are not sending out paper-based statements. Client has to go to the My Client Space. So this is how it looks like. Also, if your client would like to do subsequent deposits in all their investment contracts, there is a tool which we call the EFT through the client's bank account. If they are doing online banking, even if you are out of the country, you are on vacation, you don't have the chance to meet with the client, and the client calls you and says, okay, I would like to make a subsequent deposit into my TFSA or RRSP. If they are doing online banking, just advise them to go to their online banking, transfer funds, and they have to select Industrial Alliance as one of the payees. Note that when they will be asked to enter a reference number, it should be the letters RI and then their 10-digit contract number. If they don't know their 10-digit number, you can provide them so they can do the deposit via electronic banking. Okay, so that's one way. If you don't want to do the EVO subsequent deposit for RSP TFSA, you can advise your clients to do it themselves. It's faster, it's easier. But note that don't use this to time the market because there is a delay between the bank transfer and IA receiving the order. So the investments would be invested on the day of the will not be invested on the day of the transfer. Any deposits received before 4 p.m., yes, we will use the unit values during that day, but any deposits received after 4 p.m., it would be the following day's unit values that will be used by IA. So just to emphasize on that. So just let's look at the market updates. Note that we do have a lot of investment options in one contract, for example, TFSA, non-reds. These investment choices are always available. Investment funds, the income funds, diversified, and all those funds. The guaranteed interest funds, which is GIC for the bank, they call it a GIC, but with IA insurance companies, they call it GIF. The high interest savings account and the daily interest fund. The high interest savings account in the bank is a different contract, but with IA is just an investment option. If you are setting up TFSA and you would like to invest your client's money in the high interest savings account, you can select this in combination with the other investment choices. So high interest savings account is just an investment choice. It's not an investment fund, obviously. We are currently paying 0.60 interest rate. This is a variable interest rate. It changes frequently. It's not fixed, unlike a GIF. And the interest rate is calculated daily. You will only receive a 20 bips trailer. So there is no first year commission because it's not an investment fund. When you are doing HISA and you change that to investment funds, the death benefit guarantee and maturity guarantees will apply. Note, however, from investment funds to HISA, the client will lose the death or maturity benefit guarantees. DSC and CB fees apply. If you set up the funds in a DSC, the client will be charged first before it gets transferred to the high interest savings account. And investment funds to money market, because money market is an investment fund, meaning investment fund to an investment fund, the client keeps the death benefit guarantee as well as the maturity guarantee. So just an info on this one, because a lot of brokers are asking how come the client lost its guaranteed amount of 110,000 only because you transferred everything to the HISA. Okay, any investment, whether it's HISA or GIC, always the seg fund advantages, which is privacy at settlement, potential for creditor protection, and no probate fees still apply. It's still an insurance contract. TFSA, non-reds offered by insurance companies have still that seg fund guarantee. I mean, the advantages of a seg fund, like potential creditor protection and no probate fees, and settlement is easier. GIFs, our GIFs are very competitive. So why would a senior or a business or a small business owner go to the bank when they have also the benefits of a seg fund contract? So even if it's a GIF, as I've mentioned, or HISA, the seg fund advantages still apply. So why would you not put your clients' investment if they're just parking the money because they don't know where to put it? We are very competitive in terms of our guaranteed interest funds. The ones that you see here is a comparison with the banks. Note that banks may offer the client possibly 2.5, but that is only a promo. I was once with Tangerine. They offered me 2.5. I thought it's gonna be for 1 year. Guess what? They offered it to me only for 3 months. After 3 months, I went back to 0.20 or 0.40. So if clients are saying, no, CIBC is giving me 2.5, that could be only a promo rate. So latest from IA, this is our chief economist, Clement Gignac. He handles or he manages our diversified funds. So if you see during the COVID-19, it's the fastest bear market. We were down in February. By April, we were already up, only because the G7 governments put in much or pump in much money into their economy. They lowered down the interest rates, and then they have different subsidy programs, which up to now they are doing it. In 2008, during that recession, the governments did not do the same thing. They didn't even start acting on that recession, because it was mostly due to central banks or the banks having that difficulty at the time. So the COVID-19 is not a traditional recession. Yes, it was a recession, but it's not a traditional recession caused by CBs. You will see here a U-shaped recovery on the economy, so it may take a while to pick up, but when it comes to the market, it's a V-shaped recovery. And I will show you in the next slides what I mean by V recovery. While markets have recovered, we are not totally out of the woods yet. We are still in the first wave of COVID-19 because of the virus not being controlled, especially in the US now. There is a resurgence of cases. That's not a second wave. It's still a first wave, which was not controlled. So at least Canada is doing all its efforts, and all the citizens are doing their share of at least doing that physical distancing. Recovery, yes, but not renormalization until a vaccine is found. Probably even if the vaccine is found, I don't think most Canadians or the people will take that vaccine. U.S. election will be the next focus in the U.S., so there might be volatility in the U.S. I don't know who's gonna win. Some says it's gonna be Trump back or Biden, but to me, I wish Trump will not. Investors will be rewarded in the next 2 to 3 years. So while it is down and is picking up, in the next 2 to 3 years, again, we'll be back to the bull market. So if you want to see or listen to our economic review, just go to our website and click on economic review or economic publications. Every Thursday, Clement Gignac and Sebastian McMahon are presenting economic review, what's going on with the Canadian, Europe, and US economies, and what to watch out for in the next week. So they do that every Thursday. If you look at the market as of June 19, 2020 in Canada, you will see there that the bond is really up. When the interest rates are down, the bond performance are up. Canadian equities are still down. Energy was the sector that was hardly hit, and materials is up. Financial services, while the banks are very solid and robust, there's still negative returns on that. As well in the US, only the Nasdaq had recovered. Still, some other S&P companies haven't recovered fully yet. Others are still in the negative. In Europe, they're still negative, but because if you look at US now, the US election will have an impact again on market volatility, probably with Europe, because they were able to contain, or at least they are on the ball when it comes to the COVID-19 as opposed to the US. You may want to invest in Europe as well, or in Asia. Okay, so if you look at these top performing funds of IA, if you want to know which among our top performing funds, Global Diversified Lumi sales had recovered. You will see there as at May 31, it's now in a positive territory. If you're looking for Canadian equity funds, you might want to consider the Fidelity Canadian Opportunities or the Fidelity True North. It's now also in the positive territory. The US and international funds, Global Dividend Dynamic is still one of our top performing funds, right? When I look at it today, it's now in the positive territory. This was, I think I printed this one 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. The Fidelity Insights is now 9.10. Thematic Innovation. This is an internally managed fund of IA. You might have not selected this, but if you want, you can select this. The fund manager is investing in innovative companies. If you look at the Asia Pacific dynamic, investing in China is positive. Global healthcare, maybe you would like to consider this fund. It's 1.55. USDAQ is still running at 16.53. This is net return of MERs, net of MERs, or Indexia Prudent and Indexia Moderate are also in the positive territory. So these are our top performing funds so far at IA. So 75-100 guarantee, you might want to look back into this guarantee offered by IA, because we did enhancement on the 75-100. Just to give a quick review, you know, the 75-75 for younger people and who are averse with MERs, you can offer 75-75. For clients who are 85 years old, you need to put that client in the 75-75 because you can no longer maximize the guarantee on our 100% because our guarantee at age 85, deposits made at age 85, that deposit will default to 75%. So clients who would you like to put in the 75-75 could be the younger ones, those who are very averse to MERs, those who want to have higher returns on their investments because of the low MERs, and those deposits made at age 85 and over. 75-100, this is one of our top choices right now for most brokers. The 75-100, 75% at maturity, which is age 100 maturity date, and 100% at death. I don't even suggest now Ecoflex 100-100 unless your client is still young, less than 45 years old, to maximize the 100% guarantee at maturity and 100% at death. Only because the MERs are higher, fewer selections of funds in the Ecoflex 100-100. So this the 100% guaranteed maturity is losing its steam, so you might want to consider the 75-100 instead. So we do have some materials that you can send to your clients if you're putting them in the 75-100. The only pros to that 75-100 is that money grows, but guarantee at death has a floor, meaning 100% guarantee. It bypasses probate because there is a named beneficiary and potential for creditor protection. Only 70 funds to pick up from as opposed to the 75-75. MER on the 75-100 could be around 50 bips more than a mutual fund. But of course, they would have that 100% guarantee at death. So you can do the online reset, as I mentioned in my previous slides, in less than 30 seconds or 30 seconds by doing it online. So no paperwork on this one, complete in 10 minutes if you're doing it online. You can also do the PDF with digital signatures. Up to age 85, that deposit will be 100%. It's access to full lineup of funds, 75 funds to choose from. It qualifies for the Prestige Series 300,000, and as I mentioned, you can do annual resets. Okay, so let's look at when you are doing mutual fund. Let's say, for example, on April 1, 2009, the client invested 100,000, and by December 31, that money went up due to returns. The market value was 137,690. Guess what? What you can do is make a reset, and that is crystallized. Whatever is the market value will be crystallized. In case of death, the client will receive, the beneficiary will receive that reset amount, or if the market value is higher than the reset amount, of course, the beneficiary would get the higher amount. So client has lost more than 20%. You might want to consider moving their assets to IA, to SEX, stay in growth portfolios, and lock it in. If your client has lost 10 to 20%, again, you might consider moving their assets to IA, stay in the balanced portfolios, and do the locking in, the reset on the 75-100. If your client is investing in the banks and they are investing in the high interest or in the mutual funds, maybe you might again consider moving their assets, buy into the market lump sum, or you can do dollar cost averaging, then do the reset, or you can wait when the funds go up and make that reset once a year. So speaking of mutual funds, look no further. We do have different funds managed by external fund managers. You will see here low risk, low return funds. If your clients are not really into high returns or high risk funds, you can select our high interest savings account, money market, or daily interest fund, the bond funds, and specialty funds. You can do the balance fund, and also if your client can take fluctuations, you can select the Canadian equity, the US global equities, and the specialty funds. So we have all these funds available for your clients. And managed solutions, if you don't want to be looking at your client's investment portfolio every 6 months, maybe you can just select one of our turnkey solutions portfolio funds that will match your client's risk profile. We do have the prudent balance in terms of index share, focus, and selection portfolios. You can select any of those. Index share funds have the lowest MER for all our funds, regardless of whether they are the 75-100 or 100-100. They have the lowest MER. Of course, our focus and selection funds are managed portfolios internally managed by IA, global, and active funds. So you can do dollar cost averaging. And what is dollar cost averaging? We offer that in a contract. So for example, your client is transferring 100,000 to IA. The market is so volatile. What you can do is request for dollar cost averaging. What it means there is client buys into the money market fund, special money market fund. All those 100,000 deposit will first invested in the money market. You can pick a timeline for IA to switch that to the investment funds you have selected between 2 to 12 months.